The NBA has given us countless debates over the decades. Russell versus Chamberlain, Magic versus Bird. But nothing, and I mean nothing, splits the basketball world quite like Kobe Bryant versus LeBron James.
With the ball in his hands at the end of my game, Kobe Bryant. That's the last thing I want is LeBron James.
Lose in the first round. LeBron James doesn't know what that's like. He's never known what it's like to lose in the first round.
Yeah, but he's lost 6 NBA finals. 6 finals?
Perspective, when you play against a Michael Jordan, when you play against a Kobe Bryant, it's a whole different level of competition.
This isn't just about statistics. This isn't just about championships. This is about legacy, mentality, and what we value most in greatness. Let's set the stage. On one side, you have Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba, the closest thing we've seen to Michael Jordan's killer instinct since Jordan himself.
What I say all the time, my opinion is Mike and then it's Kobe.
Who do you think is like similar to Kobe now?
Nobody, stop it.
Well, I mean, like you got Kyrie and Devin
No,
Booker.
stop it.
I mean,
Will you stop it? I don't compare anybody to Mike, but if I had to answer the question, Kobe is the closest thing to Mike. And is there somebody that's close to Kobe?
5 championships, 18 all-star selections, the mentality of an assassin who would rather die than lose. A player who made an entire generation believe that hard work could overcome natural ability. On the other side stands LeBron James, the chosen one who somehow exceeded impossible expectations. 4 MVPs, 4 championships across 3 different franchises. The most complete player the game has ever seen, a 6'9" freight train with the vision of Magic Johnson and the basketball IQ of a chess grandmaster. A genetic anomaly who's played 17 seasons without a significant injury.
LeBron's been the best player ever since about midway point of Game 6 of last year's finals, and all he's done since then is continue that.
So who's better? Is it Kobe or LeBron? Well, that depends on what you're measuring. Skip Bayless comes out swinging with the Mamba mentality argument. For him, it's not just about who puts up better numbers. It's about who you want when everything is on the line. And in Skip's eyes, that answer is obvious. Kobe Bryant every single time.
I'm going to feed you the basketball and you are going to make this shot? No, he didn't do that.
Jordan made the best basketball play.
Actually, he did. Because if you go look at the footage, he tells Ty Lue, he points at Kyrie and says, let Kyrie take the shot.
I'm talking about the Ray Allen shot.
Think about that for a second. 10 consecutive years. General managers, the people whose jobs literally depend on making the right basketball decisions, overwhelmingly chose Kobe Bryant as the player they wanted taking the last shot. That's not nostalgia. That's not media hype. That's respect from the people who know the game best. But Shannon Sharpe isn't buying it. Not for a second. Shannon comes armed with numbers that are impossible to ignore. LeBron averages more points, more rebounds, more assists. He's led his team in scoring for 14 consecutive years. He's won 4 regular season MVPs to Kobe's 1. He's taken 8 different teams to the NBA Finals. 8!
In the middle of Michael Jordan's career, Skip. I used to travel. Michael and I were good friends. You travel around, watch Mike. Great basketball fan. Ron Harper.
The numbers don't lie. When you stack up the statistical resumes, LeBron James dominates nearly every category. He's a better rebounder, a better passer, a more efficient scorer. He's LeBron freaking James, the guy who was dubbed the chosen one at 17 and somehow lived up to every ounce of that pressure. But here's where things get interesting. Here's where the debate transforms from a numbers game into something deeper, something almost philosophical. Because Skip isn't arguing that Kobe was more talented than LeBron. He's arguing that Kobe was tougher, more clutch, more mentally fortified. And he's got receipts. Skip brings up the 2011 NBA Finals, arguably the darkest moment of LeBron's career. After forming a super team in Miami with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, after the decision that turned him into a villain, LeBron had his chance to silence the critics, and he choked. Not just a little, historically.
How many teams did Jordan face in the finals that we say were better than the Warriors?
You can make that case. So you have a chance now in the next 3 years to show us what you can do
What
against
team
that.
That finals loss to the Dallas Mavericks wasn't just a loss, it was a public execution of LeBron's reputation. The man who was supposed to be the best player on the planet got outplayed, outworked, and thoroughly embarrassed on basketball's biggest stage. Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks exposed something in LeBron that night. Vulnerability, mental weakness even. Would Kobe have allowed that to happen? Skip doesn't think so. And honestly, it's hard to imagine the Black Mamba, the guy who once scored 81 points in a single game, who played through torn ligaments and broken fingers, melting down like that when it mattered most. Shannon fires back with the championship argument, and this is where things get really spicy, because if championships are the ultimate measuring stick, and let's be honest, in basketball, they are, then we need to have a serious conversation about Bill Russell's 11 rings. 11! If rings are everything, then Bill Russell is the GOAT, and neither Kobe nor LeBron should even be in the conversation. But of course, it's not that simple. It never is. Shannon makes a brilliant point. Kobe's 5 championships came with massive advantages. 3 of them came alongside Shaquille O'Neal in his absolute prime, arguably the most dominant player in NBA history during those years. And who was the Finals MVP for all 3 of those championships? Shaq, not Kobe.
In 2014, they were blown off the court by a record finals margin in 5 games. And go look at games 3 and 4.
This hits at the heart of the Kobe mythology. Yes, he won 5 rings, but how many of those championships was he definitively the best player on his team? 2, maybe 3 at most. Meanwhile, LeBron has been the unquestioned alpha on every single one of his championship teams. But Skip isn't done. He pivots to something that statistics can never capture: the eye test, the feel, the intangibles that separate good players from legends. He talks about the puppet commercials from 2009. Remember those? Kobe and LeBron were on a collision course to meet in the finals. The entire basketball world was salivating at the prospect. And then, it never happened. Twice. In 2009, the Orlando Magic upset LeBron's Cavaliers in the conference finals. In 2010, the Boston Celtics did the same. Both times, Kobe held up his end of the bargain. Both times, LeBron faltered. And according to Skip, that's not a coincidence. It's a pattern. The injuries argument comes up too, and it's surprisingly compelling. Over the last 3 years of his career, Kobe's body completely betrayed him. 22 different injuries over a 5-year period. The Achilles tear that essentially ended his prime. The shoulder, the knees, the fingers, everything broke down at once. And yes, those final years were painful to watch. The Black Mamba reduced to a shell of himself, jacking up contested shots on a lottery team. But here's the thing, even in decline, even when his body was failing him, Kobe never quit. He never took the easy road. He never left Los Angeles to chase championships elsewhere. He stayed loyal, stayed committed, and went out on his terms with a 60-point masterpiece in his final game. Contrast that with LeBron's journey. Cleveland to Miami, Miami back to Cleveland, Cleveland to Los Angeles. 3 different franchises, 3 different attempts at building super teams. And yes, he won championships with each move. But did he do it the hard way? Did he prove he could win without stacking the deck in his favor? Jim Jackson, a player who actually competed against both legends, offers perhaps the most insightful perspective. He argues that numbers don't tell the whole story, that playing against Michael Jordan, playing against Kobe Bryant, it was a different level of competition, a different level of intimidation.
Kobe Bryant not gonna let you off the hook.
This is the crux of the entire debate. It's not about who's more talented. LeBron probably wins that battle. It's about who you'd rather have when the game is on the line, when everything is falling apart, when your season is hanging by a thread. Do you want the guy with the better stats, or do you want the guy with the killer instinct? Shannon counters with LeBron's incredible consistency. 17 years without a significant injury, 17 years of excellence. He's never known what it's like to lose in the first round of the playoffs, something neither Kobe nor Jordan can say. He's been to 10 NBA Finals. 10! That's more than half his career spent playing for championships. But then Skip delivers perhaps his most devastating blow, the eye-ring argument.
Came to this for LeBron in the Kyrie era. He needed Kyrie to close for him.
Ouch. Because it's true, isn't it? In the biggest moment of LeBron's career, Game 7 of the 2016 Finals, it was Kyrie Irving who hit the championship-clinching three-pointer, not LeBron. And while LeBron delivered in other ways that game, while he had the block and the leadership, the fact remains he needed someone else to close the deal. Would Kobe have accepted that? Would Jordan? Or would they have demanded the ball and lived with the consequences? The debate spirals into discussions about MVPs, about all NBA selections, about advanced metrics and player efficiency ratings. Shannon points out that Kobe only won one regular season MVP, a shockingly low number for someone supposedly in the GOAT conversation. Skip fires back that Steve Nash won back-to-back MVPs, but nobody seriously thinks Nash was better than Kobe during those years. And maybe that's the point. Maybe we're asking the wrong question entirely, because this isn't about who's better. It's about what kind of greatness you value. Do you value the cold-blooded assassin who would rather lose taking 30 shots than win while deferring to a teammate? Or do you value the complete player who elevates everyone around him, even if it sometimes means sacrificing his own glory? Do you value 5 championships, even if some came as the second best player on the team? Or do you value 4 championships earned as the unquestioned alpha, even if it required changing teams to make it happen? Do you value the Mamba mentality, the psychotic competitiveness that drove Kobe to practice at 4 in the morning, to shoot until his fingers bled, to play through injuries that would sideline lesser players? Or do you value LeBron's longevity, his basketball IQ, his ability to dominate the game in ways that don't always show up in the box score? The truth is, we can't definitively answer this question, and maybe we're not supposed to. Maybe that's what makes sports beautiful. The endless debates, the passionate arguments, the inability to reach consensus. What we can say is this: Kobe Bryant and LeBron James represent 2 different eras of basketball greatness. Kobe was the last of the old guard, the Jordan disciples who believed in isolation, in one-on-one dominance, in the idea that a single player could will his team to victory through sheer force of personality. LeBron is the modern prototype, the positionless superstar who can play and defend all 5 positions, who makes everyone around him better, who understands that basketball is ultimately a team game. Both approaches worked. Both players won championships. Both players have legitimate claims to greatness. But when it's 2 in the morning and you're still arguing with your friends about who was better, when the debate gets heated and personal and almost angry, that's when you know you're talking about something special. That's when you know these aren't just basketball players, they're cultural icons who shape how we think about excellence, about competitiveness, about what it means to be great. Skip Bayless wants Kobe with the ball in his hands. Shannon Sharpe wants LeBron. And somewhere in that disagreement, in that passionate divide, lies the beauty of sports fandom. Because at the end of the day, we're not really debating statistics or championships or MVP awards. We're debating philosophies. We're debating what we believe in, what we value, what version of greatness resonates with our souls. And that's a debate that will never die, not as long as basketball fans have voices and the passion to use them. Kobe or LeBron? The answer says more about you than it does about them. And maybe that's exactly how it should be.